Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you found a lot of value in the conference today. I did want to wrap up with a few key observations and some takeaways for you. Appreciate you sticking with us, and those of you watching later, thanks for checking this out. We do have a survey running as well that we will continue running for the next few days. And I will likely post some insights into that survey, both on Twitter and on our website as well. Today you heard quite a bit of interesting content. The main goals behind the event today was really to create a vendor-neutral place to discuss open source and community. And we've really tried to keep vendors, including ourselves, away. And really provide a venue for people to collaborate, communicate, and discuss things. And we hope to keep that going after this event. Finally, we've seen a lot of evolution, new technologies, new projects, people doing interesting things across the open source observability community. There's definitely a huge amount of interest around tracing specifically, which you heard much of the discussion today, and also Prometheus and really providing a new type of monitoring to really collect time series data across many different technologies. Open telemetry is a big apple to bite into, and standardizing across APIs, formats, and importantly, exporting that data consistently has been a big driver. It is very ambitious, and it is taking quite some time to solidify that. And expanding upon that, there's a huge amount of momentum. We recently, just in the last week or two, we saw this interesting tweet on the right showing in the Cloud Native Computing Foundation that open telemetry actually has some of the highest activity outside of Kubernetes going on. So there's a lot of momentum, a lot of discussions, a lot of new code being written. And it takes a lot of work to standardize all of these things together and make it so that observability tools can collect data in a uniform manner. And a couple of the observations that I have around this is that attending these meetings and talking to users and other vendors is that most of this is vendor driven. About 95% of the people that you see on these calls, which are completely open to the community, are vendors. That's a concern for me, and it's something that I brought up. And there's also a challenge around diversity where having complete control of this standard by vendors, although it's not one vendor, it's many, is something that is not ideal. And I also would like to see much better participation from other genders. It's generally male dominated, and I think that needs to change. It's a very open and welcoming community. You can participate. You can review code, you can review standards. The link is right here to the GitHub page. The calls happen regularly, so if you're a specialist that works in Python or Java or just wants to work on specs and standards, there are calls happening regularly. You can feel free to join on Zoom and join in the discussion, make your opinion heard. It is very open, and anyone that wants to participate should. So I did just want to mention that. It's obviously time consuming. I mean, I try to attend as many as I can, but it's not always possible. We all have other obligations for sure. Some of the things you heard about today, I found it really interesting talking to all of the users and learning about their organizational structures and challenges. But generally, although we talk about DevOps and this convergence, Ops still seems to live on its own in various forms within the organizations. You heard that across the board, that although DevOps and these full stack engineers are something that is very useful and commonplace, it is still met with challenges. The skill sets are definitely highly variable. Most folks are running a combination of multiple clouds. They may have some data center involved there. There's a lot of technology needed to make all of this work effectively. So generalists are definitely a skill set that is increasingly necessary based on what we've heard. As expected, a lot of use of ELK in the ELK stack. Grafana is extremely popular, and Prometheus is very popular as well. So nothing really new here, but people using these tools, and obviously these tools really growing a lot and expanding. And the future is really bright for all of them. Very interesting things happening. With regards to the standards in tracing and the various tools, I hope you found that discussion interesting, and I hope we can continue those types of discussions. Definitely something that we're looking forward to exploring in future themes and formats. So speaking of which, the next event that we want to put together here, we're really trying to do these twice a year, ideally. So we're hoping to put another event like this together later this year. But leading up to that, we do want to have a regular cadence of monthly video casts and podcasts. So if anyone would like to participate in these, we had a call for papers open previously. So we have a bunch of great topics that people have submitted. We've gotten back to those folks and told them that we would schedule them in to participate in various forms of video casts that we'll be putting together. We will also be reopening the CFP. So hoping to do that in the next couple days, and you can submit your ideas and sessions. And we'd love to keep this collaboration going and provide a place where open source observability can be discussed. You can either contact us through the Conf Open Twitter handle, or feel free to message or just @ me on Twitter, and we would love to engage with you. The developer relations team here at Logz.io has also got some great ideas of things that we're looking forward to putting together as well. So one last item is that the recordings and slides will be sent to your email and also be available on YouTube and some other streaming services. So you will receive something from us shortly, should you wish to share any of this with your colleagues or review anything yourself that was discussed. And then finally, from all of us here at Logz.io and the folks that participate in the event, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for participating. And we look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks again.